Chris started off promising with the first few goals of the game, but was it just the case of the Giants getting on top, I guess, around the midfield and the stoppages?
It was through that patch in the second quarter. Obviously, the game started okay, and we had chances to put them under even more pressure, which we didn't take. And then the second quarter was just, they just dominated. We were, I think, fortunate to have got off to a good start, so the scoreboard left us in touch. After that, I thought we worked our way back into it. It was clear that we had some problems that we were trying to arrest through those last 3 quarters, but we were good enough, I guess, to at least stay in touch even with those issues, but it just became a bit too much in the end.
Was there anything in particular you saw that the Giants were doing that meant you weren't, like I said, able to bridge that gap, especially that last term when you were pushing but just couldn't quite get within a decent margin?
Yeah. Look, their good players played well. The guys that, if you were to forecast them playing well, that the guys that you would assume had played well did play well. And we played them before where we thought we'd made some errors with them. It didn't feel that way tonight. We thought they did play very well. They're good players, that's what they do. But we did gift wrap them some opportunities with some ball use and some fundamental errors that haven't really been a pattern for us. So we're annoyed with it, but we're not distraught.
You had plenty of looks inside 50 tonight. I think one there inside 50 count in the end. Some really good moves from Neil, but for the most part, I feel like the Giants defenders were just able to get on top. What was the key to kind of finding a bit more from those injuries? Yeah,
it's unusual that it felt like for the last 3 quarters that we were under the pump, but still we're in front in the inside 50s, and they're up the other end. The quality of their entries were better than ours, and again, a lot of the time that was bad turnovers, which leave you exposed in an open back half. Look, our forwards, Shannon Neal was good. Like he's really promising for us. We're really optimistic. Not only that he can be a very good player long term, but he can be a very good player in the present. But yeah, Dangerfield was a bit restricted tonight. Cameron was a bit restricted as well, and we didn't really give them super opportunities anyway. So it was sort of one of those nights where we just didn't look as potent going to our forward half as possible. And whenever that happens, it's not because it's just us and the opposition don't have a say in it. That they're obviously good players back there, and I thought my initial reaction is that their back half guys played well.
Jeremy Cameron looked to be sort of managing a lower body injury. Some suggested groin, but it just looked to be a bit probably out there. Is he all right? How was this sort of?
Yeah, the feedback I've got was more hip. He got a knock to his hip, and he was a bit restricted. But again, let's not dwell on that because it's kind of like, we played poorly and we lost. It's because our best players were sore. I don't think that's right.
It must have been pleasing though to see Shannon Neal, as you mentioned before, step up, and he looks like a really trustworthy set shot for the goal. Really helpful.
He's got some strengths. One of them definitely is he's a beautiful kick for goal. Technically perfect, pretty close to perfect in my opinion. 203 centimetres, great athlete. He's sort of helped us change the way we play a little bit. Without having a big body of work of really dominating sort of in the air, which we know he can do. So I think all those things sort of, you put them together and he could be a formidable player, and we saw good signs of that tonight.
And Tom Stewart seemed like he was getting back towards his best after, I guess easing back to it after his little spell out.
He was pretty dominant last week. But he's got high standards. He was another, got a little tweak to his ankle early, and it's a bit frustrating. I thought he was pretty good.
For the most part, I felt like the pressure was at a really strong level as well. I think, again, kind of similar to the inside 50 count on the tackle count for the night. But how do you go about making sure you're effective in those tackles and turning them into turnovers and opportunities? Yeah,
those stats are really flawed in my opinion. Like, I don't want to offend anyone. And even internally, we have an interesting discussion about it. But your pressure can be really high. But if the opposition are able to get the ball out in the tackle and clear the ball, then who cares about the pressure? It's the outcome you're after. So I think that goes to your point that, I thought our intent was okay. It was just that and they're good players, they were able to extricate the ball under, a level of pressure that, was okay, but not good enough.
Clearly, every game now on the run home is so vital when the top 9 is as close as it is. What's the key kind of go forward into that run home?
After every game where, you go well, don't get too happy with yourself, you play poorly, but I thought we played pretty poorly tonight. Like there's the coaching part, especially at this level. It's not under 12s where you're sort of saying we've got to work on our skill level, but some of our fundamentals were off, but that can be an easy fix, but we can't just assume it's going to happen. But we don't want to, again, a lot of things that we tried to do tonight just didn't work. Now, if that's a pattern over time, you've got to sort of go back to the drawing board, but we're not at that stage. So, thought the opposition played well. You're going to have games like that. Just don't look too far forward and work on our game, because we're still confident that, when we get most things right that we're sort of trying to execute, we're a challenge for any team. But we didn't look like that outside of the first quarter tonight, unfortunately.
It was that little patch in the third quarter where Aaron Cadden kind of almost took the game away from you guys late in that term. What's the message to your defenders to try and stop it? Obviously, clearly he's a number one pick, we know the promise, but to stop him getting a bit of a roll, or guys like him getting a roll on like that.
Yeah, I mean it's not complicated. It's what you'd expect. Like we've got a couple of young guys down there who are really optimistic about, and sometimes you get beaten. So we tried a few things that were a bit different, but he was a bit too good at times. We're a bit slack collectively. There were some slow entries where we couldn't have had any more time to get organised, and then the ball went in and we looked disorganised. So that's more of a collective thing. But and then Captain took shots as well. Like that's a hallmark of that team when they play well. They've got some guys that definitely take their shots. I mean, Hogan missed one tonight and I couldn't believe it. Such as their sort of skill level. So combination of him taking his chances, really good in the air. But there was some, again, I think that's an example of some of the fundamentals that I speak of that, you'd like to think the lesson is if we just give them a little bit of space, those guys are too good. So, some body work, a little bit loose, not horrendous, but just bad enough for good players to make the most of it.
Thank you.
Thanks.